Hey peeps, and welcome to another video. Today I'm doing a fabric haul from the latest trip that I made to the Goldhawk Road. This was organised by the lovely Faux on Instagram in honour of Libby, or Liblib on Instagram, and again all of their details will be in the description box down below. She was over from visiting from Australia and she was coming to London, and she is a sewist, and of course you need to see the Goldhawk Road if you are a sewist and you come to London. So I decided to head over and join up with all of the peeps. I also had a phone date with the lovely Lauren, who won my 14,000 subscriber giveaway £100 voucher from Goldbrick Fabrics. I had a phone date with her at midday to choose her fabrics. I stupidly didn't take photos of them, so I really hope Lauren will send me some pictures that I can insert here for you, because she picked some really good ones. So I went down and met up with the guys at Costa Coffee, and it was 11 to 11:30 was the meetup time, and I thought that'd be great because my phone call with Lauren was at midday. We ended up sort of sitting and chatting for a lot longer. Loads of people came. There was a couple of people that I kind of recognised from Instagram, but it was nobody that I'd really kind of ever met before. So except for Susan, who Mum and I had met at the knitting and stitching show many moons ago, when we were sitting and knitting, or Mum and Susan were sitting and knitting tiny little hats or bandanas for the, oh gosh, I think it was Innocent Smoothies at Gabby's meetup. So that's how long ago that was. And she kind of recognised me and was like, did I knit something with your mum? I was like, yes you did. It was really nice to meet some sewers that I hadn't met before, and I have now followed them all on Instagram. I'll try and link everybody that came down in the description bar down below so that you can check out their Instagram feeds, because there are some very talented people there. I have been waffling a lot. 3 minutes. I've been waffling for 3 minutes at you. Let me show you the fabric. So the first fabric I bought is this one that I am wearing here. It's this beautiful printed viscose jersey, and I saw this the very first time I went on the 15th of July. Wow. After my class at Beautiful Things HQ, I spent a couple of days in London actually to meet Wilson for the first time in 7 years. Well, not 7 years, probably about 4 years actually. He'd been we'd been chatting back and forth, and he'd been saying, are you coming to London? And I thought, you know what, I'm going to be up there, sod it, let's book into an Airbnb for a couple of nights, and you know, then I arranged some stuff to do during the day, and one of those was a meetup on the Goldhawk Road. So anyway, long story, cool story bro. Jane, the lovely Jane, bought some of this, I think it was this exact print, but there was a whole bunch of them, and they kind of look very Lady McElroy to me, but they're not. It's this really lightweight and almost sheer jersey that has kind of a slub to the background colour, and then is just absolutely beautiful. I saw that time, I saw it the second time I went, I saw it the third time I went, and this time I caved and bought some, and I bought the last that was on the roll, which turned out to be 1 metre 45 centimetres of fabric, and it was £18 for that cut. I have made the sew over it cowl neck tee with a slight alteration to the cowl, so that the raw edge sits on the inside rather than the finished edge kind of, yeah, I didn't like the way the original finished edge was done. So this is the first fabric that I have bought from the Goldhawk Road, and it is made up into a garment already, and I love it. I have a fairly decent size piece left. It's going to be enough for the front of, say, like a raglan t-shirt or something like that, but Mum loves it, so I have given it to her. I think she's going to try and colour block it into a Renfrew t-shirt. She's been using my overlocker whilst I've been away, because like I say, her machine's being serviced at the moment, so she's really getting the hang of the overlocker, which is awesome, but she's run out of jersey fabric. So yeah, I think I need to I need to let her raid my stash, really, don't I? She's very welcome to, except she wants the prints and I want the prints, and yeah. But anyway, I have bought this, I love it, and I think if I go back I might get myself, because they had some black colourways and then they had some different patterns as well, and I really like it as a top. And I have a vest on underneath, a white vest, which I think you can probably make out. That's because, as I say, it is kind of sheer, but I like that layering effect, and I just think it's gorgeous. So very pleased with this. I can't remember which store it was from, and I've deleted the photos. That's not good, is it? But it was from one of the ones on the left hand side. If you've got Costa Coffee behind you, it's left on the left, and it's one of the bigger ones, and it's got, you go downstairs and it's towards Shepherd's Bush way. On the left, one of those. You'll find it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. They also had, now this is interesting, they also had some of this amazing, absolutely amazing velvet. hanging up, and I saw it as I was checking out, and I was just like, oh, it's beautiful. And I asked them how much it was, and it was actually a navy background one that I saw, and it was £15 a metre. And I was just like, oh, I want to make a jacket dress with that, but because it's velvet, I need that little bit extra, so sort of 3.5, 4 metres, because I want to make sure that I can get all the panels cut out the same way, so that the nap is going in the same way, because, you know, that's one of the things you need to consider when you're working with velvet. And I hummed and I hawed, and I was like, no, I have enough. I don't need any more. Went into the next shop where I bought 2 things, and they had this exact print. They had all of the same velvets that this other shop had, except they were £5 per metre. So I bought 4 metres of it, and it is going to be a jacket dress, and it's absolutely glorious. I absolutely love it. It is one of those things though that if you're humming and hawing about something, it's worth taking the photo of the fabric and the photo of the outside of the shop, and then maybe going back later. And then also it might be worth kind of doing that legwork, because I could have bought this for 60 quid and I got it for £20 instead. It's worth kind of doing a little bit of legwork and doing a little bit of research up and down the road and seeing the fabrics that you really love, and then if anywhere else has them at a better price. That's another top tip for you. I have got my Goldhawk Road survival guide video up here. That would be definitely something that I would add to that video now, after that experience. Ah no, so this fabric is not on the left hand side, it's on the right hand side coming back towards Costa Coffee, because I didn't go into the very last shop, which is on the right next to Costa Coffee, because I know that I love it and I'd already spent my budget and then some. So I didn't go into that one. It was one of the ones that I'd been in before, and they always have the most amazing faux fur, and it's where I got my teal faux fur from. And they had this hanging up, and it's a 1 metre cut. It's 150 wide and 1 metre long, or 1 metre length. They did have more. They have about 10 metres of this left, and it was £25 for this piece. It is the softest thing you've ever felt in your life, and it's so pretty. I want to make myself, before Christmas, I want to make myself a smart black coat, a long kind of calf length smart black coat, and I would like to make a faux fur collar to go with it, and if I can work out how to make them detachable, kind of like the idea of faux fur cuffs as well. I don't think I'd have enough in this one cut to do this, but I kind of like the idea of playing around and seeing how like a trim around the bottom of the coat would look. But again, I would want to make it detachable, and I'm not sure how easy that would be to do, because like with the cuffs you could put buttons on the cuffs and it would look intentional, but if you had to have buttons around the bottom of the coat it would not look great, I don't think. I only bought the 1 metre cut because that's more than enough for a collar and a set of cuffs for the coat, and I'm going to play around with possibly trimming the bottom of it, and if it looks good I might permanently attach them and put this and go back and get some more of this. But it's so soft. I showed Mum and she immediately wanted to turn it into a teddy bear. Mum makes teddy bears. I don't know if we've shown you her teddy bear Leonard in any of our look what Mum's been sewing videos. One of those is definitely overdue as well, isn't it? I love this fabric, it's gorgeous. I wasn't particularly looking for silk, but if I found one that was a really good price, I kind of fancied buying some to try working with, because I've worked with silk before, but usually stiffer silks. I kind of wanted to branch out into something a little bit more liquid and a little bit more drapey, but not too drapey or liquid. So I was looking at the double sand washed silks, which are a little bit more substantial, and whilst they are slippery, they aren't like those tissue thin things that you breathe on them and they get out of grain after you've spent ages lying it down to cut it out. Now again, I can't remember the name of the shop, but it's one of my favourite shops, and you go in and it has a downstairs this way, which is where all the silk is, and then it has a downstairs that way, which is where all of the coatings and suitings and stuff are. And they had the most beautiful double sand washed emerald silk, and on the display it said £20.99 per metre, and I was thinking, well, I want 2.5 metres because I kind of want to try and make the sew over Anderson blouse hacked, because this is me we're talking about, but with bigger sleeves. I think that would be beautiful, and the colour was gorgeous. And I was like, you know, for £20, £21, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'll have 2.5 metres of this. The gentleman came down and he was just like, oh yeah, no, so it's £26 a metre. And I said, no, it's not, it's 21, look. And he went, oh yeah, that's an old price, look. And then he kind of picked up this label that had been lying down and went, look, 26 quid. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, you need to kind of cross out, because it was written on the, you know, the tubes that they roll fabric on. It was written in pen on one of those tubes, which keeps the bolts behind, you know, so that they all stay in the display. And I was like, well, you just need to scribble that out then. You need to cover that up because that's misleading. And he was like, no, look. And then he showed me on each of the rolls, they've got different prices written. But he was determined to charge me 27 quid per metre for this thing. And it was £6 more per metre. And I was just like, okay, well, you know, that only adds, how much does that add? That adds £15 to the cost. But it was the principle of the thing, so I was just like, nah, it's all right, fine, forget it, don't worry about it, it's fine. He didn't have enough on that bolt as well. He'd had to have gone and got a new bolt of the thing, the colour that I wanted, because he only had a metre of it left. So anyway, we went to another shop. And again, it's these, as you're looking at Costa Coffee, it's not the first fabric shop, it's the next one, the next one to that one. Can't remember the name. And I walked in and they had silks on display. And I was just like, oh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. And they didn't have the right colour. They had a bright chartreuse. And I've just seen somebody make the Victory Patterns Trina dress, which I do. My ex bought me the pattern for my birthday, which was amazing of him. But I haven't made it as yet. But I've seen somebody make it in a chartreuse. And I was just like, oh, I need to do that because it would look really bright with my hair. But then I was just like, no, that's not the most wearable colour. And then this apple green was in the back, and the one at the front was a silk satin, and this is a sandwash silk, so this is exactly what I wanted. And the price in there was £18 a metre for both the silk satin and for this. And then a very lovely little man sort of turned up and he went, for you, £16. And then this other lovely little man turned up and went, no, we can do better than that, £15.99. So I got 3 metres for £15.99. So that's 47 something, 47.97 I think. So yes, this is going to be the sew over Anderson blouse, but I'm going to put a waistband on it, and I can't decide if it's going to be an elasticated waistband. Bear with me, they do look okay if you've done the right way, or if it's going to be a waistband with buttons that you then cross over. I think the elasticated one would be slightly easier to wear, and I would probably always be wearing it tucked in, but I don't want to, obviously don't want to add bulk around my waist. And the reason I want to do that is because whilst I love the sew over Anderson blouse, it's just, there's too much fabric around the hips, and I wouldn't wear it, I wouldn't feel comfortable in it, and I wouldn't like the fact that it, you know, you have to kind of make sure that everything's arranged correctly for it not to be really booby. So I have kind of played around with the pattern already, and I've made one, and I nearly finished it, and I was trimming the seams when I was French seaming the sleeves in, and I trimmed the sleeve rather than the seam. So yeah, that fit of frustration went into the scrap pile, and I haven't touched it again since. But when I'd done that one, I had made it an inch too long. I'd too much on the side of caution to make sure, because I wanted it blouson, I think that's the correct term, at the top, but I'd kind of like made it 2. So I need to take an inch off and revisit that pattern. I won't be revisiting it immediately with this silk because that would be expensive if it went wrong again, and I will be very careful when I cut that out. And I did put that in the vlog in one of the daily waffles. I did show you guys, like, I'm human, I make mistakes, everybody does. It's one of those things, nobody is perfect. This is going to eventually end up being one of those, and like I said, I've got 3 meters, so I'm hoping I can get a camisole out of it as well. And I have the Camilla camisole from Tessuti Patterns, and I think it would look absolutely stunning in this fabric, and I just love it with my hair as well. As I say, those guys were absolutely lovely, and I would totally go back there and buy more silk from them. Love that, it's gorgeous, and it feels amazing. I'm looking forward and terrified at the same time to working with this. So these ones have been, I've got 2 more to show you. They're from the same place. They have been pre-washed, so they're not ironed because I'm not going to be working with them for a while. They're both cotton lawns. So the first one is this minty fabric here, and it has what to me look fairly winter type flowers and berries on it. Because it does have berries on it, it kind of reads to me a little bit more autumnal. So it's from the House of Silk. I remember this because he was very adamant about giving me his business card, and I think I have 3 of them actually. I think this is stunning. It was £20 for a 3.5 metre pre-cut packet. They had it out on display. I think they had it to cut if you wanted more, but it was just beautiful. So battery's running out. Here we go. Hopefully I haven't changed the frame too much. I bought this one. This was the first one I saw and I was just like, oh, that's beautiful. 3.5 meters. I could do a lot with that. I could get a dress out of that. I actually think I'm going to try and make a shirt, but quite an involved shirt with big sleeves and flounces and stuff. I have some patterns for those. Not sure yet which ones. Saw this and was just like, okay, done, sold, I'll take that one please. And like I say, £20 for the 3.5 meters. And they have them displayed very cleverly all behind the counter. So whilst I was queuing up to pay, this one caught my eye. Isn't it pretty? It's this beautiful kind of mustardy colour, which I really, really like, with the pinky reddy flowers all over it. I think this one might be directional. Yeah, this is definitely a directional print. So again, I have 3.5 meters of this. It was £20. This one feels slightly heavier in weight than the minty one. He said they're both cotton lawns and they are both cottons at least. Again, I kind of think I want to try and make I was going to say a top, but 3.5 meters, I kind of maybe a shirt dress. Shocking, me making a shirt dress. But yeah, I just think it's absolutely beautiful and I really, really love these colours. And I mean, you know, it's what's more autumnal than this? So that was my last fabric from my last trip to the Goldhawk Road. I went with the intention of buying one fabric, which I had seen since July, and it was a white background with bright red roses, quite large roses, silk print that I had seen in the shop directly opposite the Costa Coffee, and they didn't have it in stock anymore. It was £45 a metre. I was going to buy 1.5 meters of it, and that was going to be me for the day. Yeah, that didn't happen. I love going to the Goldhawk Road. I have very little willpower. I could have spent a lot more money. There were a lot more fabrics that I liked. Those velvets, when I found out that they were £5 per metre, I quite happily could have bought. They had a mustardy coloured one with the leaves on it. They had the navy one, like I said, with the flowers on it. The reason I didn't go for the navy is because I already have the navy magnolia print Victory Patterns Jackie dress already made up. So it was just like, oh, it's, you know, it's a different flower, but it's a navy. Do I need 2 velvet navy dresses in the same pattern? No, I don't. So yeah, I could quite easily have bought more. But the other thing is that I also have to get it all the way home, and I had a not large suitcase with me that time. So Wilson very kindly let me leave some stuff at his again, and I have now brought all my fabric home from his place. I still have all my toiletries there, which is great because it means that I don't need to pack a heavy suitcase every time. But yeah. My fabric drawer is empty and Mum says she wants some of this. No, I'm not going back to, well, if I do go back to the Goldhawk Road again, which I am going to do because I'm going to organise another meetup for some of the peeps. I know Rachel from Stitched Up is going to come all the way down from Yorkshire to come and join us, as long as I give her enough notice, because she's never been to the Goldhawk Road before. Yeah, I am going to organise another meetup. Let me know actually guys if you would like that to be in December or in January, because December, I know everyone's really spending money on other people for presents and things like that, but in January I know that everyone's spent all of their money, but you might have Christmas money to spend. So yeah, let me know down in the comments down below if you would like a December meetup or a January meetup. I would be interested to know, and I will start organising it. Not that there's much to do other than pick a date and a time and say, let's meet at Costa, but you know what I mean. That was it. That was my haul from the Goldhawk Road, and I'm super happy with everything I bought. You'll have noticed that I'm not doing a November plans video, and that's because I'm still working on October's plans, and yeah. I'll get there, it'll be fine. I am going to do a December's plan video though, because I think that would be quite fun, because I have some dresses that I want to make for the festive season, including that green velvet. I think it's going to be an awesome Christmas dress, and I have some PJs and things like that. So there will be a December plans and fabric haul video, and there is going to be an October and November lookbook video, because there wasn't a one for October because I'd made 3 things. So 4 things. Anyway, I'm waffling now, so I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.